I don't want anyone to link this. Hey guys, I don't even know if I'm live. Oh my god. This is Hey guys, I don't even know if I'm live. Oh my god. This is Hey guys, I don't even know if I'm live. You know what? I'm actually going live on my phone and I'm trying to, it's telling me it's locked, so. You know what? I'm actually going live on my phone and I'm trying to, it's telling me it's locked, so. But can you guys hear me? But can you guys Wow. Wow, okay. Wow. So, hi guys. I can see 9 people are actually joining. I never thought you guys are going to join my live. I can see. Thank you guys so much for joining. I can see. Hi Susan. Hi dear Minnie. Hi Johnston. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. So normally I'm actually supposed to stream live like in I forgot how they do it on YouTube. This is my first ever live video, so I don't even know how it goes. So you guys just bear with me because it's my first ever live video ever. I have never been live on Instagram. I have never been live on Instagram, so this is my first ever YouTube live video. So maybe let me just wait a few more minutes and see if more people are going to join. And mir geht's gut, danke, Johnston. Yeah, let's wait a couple of minutes and see if more people are going to join, and if not, we can still start. You guys can send me your questions. You can start sending me your questions, and then I'll be sure to respond to them. Susan, du hast viele Fragen. Ich bin hier. Was für Fragen hast du? Johnston, your question is about BFD program. So what exactly would you like to know about the BFD? Hi. Oops. Bear with me, you guys. My son is around here, so and he's actually not feeling well, so yeah. So I never thought you guys are going to join my live. So I actually cannot respond on the questions while I'm looking at the phone. So I have my laptop on. I'll be looking at the laptop, and then I see from Fenty Belusi. Hi, beauty. So I wanted to apply for FSJ in May, but I have A1 and in process of A2. I believe my August I'll be done with B1. So should I apply in advance or wait till I finish B1? You can actually start applying. Just start applying, because the process also between before you apply up until they take in your application and process the application, sometimes it actually takes long. So yeah, I would just advise you to start applying. Yeah. And then Johnston, where can I actually volunteer at the moment? Because I don't have cash to do the nurse aid course of 6 months, but I taking public health, and I wish to volunteer in a hospital. Johnston, you actually don't need any nurse aiding course before you can apply for oh, bless you. You don't need any nursing aid course for 6 months. You can just actually apply. Like, you don't need, I don't know, you're talking about a nursing aid nurse aid course for 6 months. You do not need a nurse aid course for 6 months before you can start applying for volunteer or Ausbildung. If you want to work in a hospital setting as a volunteer, just send in your application. For as long as you have the language certificate of a B1, and if you have any other kinds of certificates, maybe things to do with social work and community development from your country, yeah, but most of the time they will still take you. So you really don't need any nurse aid course before you can volunteer in a hospital. Yeah, that's how it is in Germany. I hope I have answered your question, Johnston. Susan, ich mache nächsten Monate B1-Prüfung, aber ich habe Angst. Kann mir bitte Tipps geben? Ah, Susan, du hast eine B1-Prüfung. You don't need to have angst. I think B1 is not as complicated as B2. B1, you can actually get this. What I can advise you, Susan, go on YouTube and let me see. I can type on the comment section. There's this YouTube lady. There's a lady on YouTube. She makes videos on how you can prepare yourself for the exam and stuff. So you can check that YouTube out. It will actually help you a lot. And what is the name of this that YouTube channel? I presume her name is the Sprachcoach. Genau, her name is Maria Sprachcoach. I'm just typing it in on the comment section so you can see it, Susan. Sprachcoach Maria. If you type this on YouTube, I think that's her channel. It's really helpful if you're looking into improving your language, or if you have exams. She has tips from, you know, from A1 to C2. So you just look for different kinds of videos on YouTube that can actually help you during your exam preparation and stuff. So I don't know which exam you're taking. I don't know if you're taking GOTE exams or TELC exams, because they're different. So if you're preparing for GOTE, you can go online and also check out GOTE Institute's Prüfungsmaterial for B1. There's so many YouTube channels that actually can help you out. But I'm recommending this, the Sprachcoach Maria, because I personally follow her and I love her content. She's actually very good at what she does. So you can check it out. And also, for B1, I think if you're doing like the, let me see, if you're doing mündliche Prüfung, the mündliche Prüfung for B1 is not that difficult. B1 is not as complicated as B2. You will make it. Don't worry, Susan. You got this. It's not as complicated, for as long as you know how to write the letter, the format of how you're supposed to write the letter, because for GOTE exams and TELC exams, there's a little bit of a difference on how the exams is structured, but you just need to know how to write, for example, the formal letter and the informal letter. So like, you just need to know, I don't know how I can explain this to you precisely, but if you know, you can just know, like, okay, this is a way we're writing an informal letter. And for informal or formal letters for B1 is not as complicated, because I don't know if you have to write like a Beschwerdebrief, or the like if you Bitte Information. For BF2, this is what you have to do. That is the TELC Prüfung. But for GOTE, so I don't know which one you're doing. They're all a little bit slightly different, but more or less like the same. But as when you just as I said, check out the Sprachcoach Maria on YouTube. She's going to be very helpful for you. And you can also type in on YouTube just B1 Prüfungsmaterial, entweder for GOTE oder TELC, whichever that you're actually looking for. And they're actually very helpful. Oh, Susan, you're actually from Kenya. And you're in Kenya. If you're in Kenya, then it's definitely GOTE. So, yeah, check out the GOTE Prüfungsmaterial on YouTube. Hallo Millie, wie geht's? Ich folge dir aus Zimbabwe. Oh, hi Santana. Grüß Sie aus Zimbabwe. Herzlich willkommen. So in Kenya, I don't need to do nursing aid course to add weight to the reason of volunteering in hospital setting for BFD program. Can my public health certificate be? Yes. Johnston, are you in Kenya? If you're in Kenya, you know what, you guys, right now, Germany is actually looking for people to work in the healthcare sector. So if you have any backgrounds of like if you've already worked in the public health sector and you're currently applying, probably you want to apply to come and work as a nurse in Germany. If you're already a nurse, a certified nurse, or you already, you know, worked in the public health and you want to transition and come to Germany, Germany is currently looking for nurses. So I don't think it's going to be a big problem. Whether you want to do a volunteer or you want to do Ausbildung, for as long as you have any background in the healthcare sector, I think it's going to be quite easy for you, you know, when applying, because you already have the background in the healthcare. So don't, mach dir keinen Kopf, because yeah, you say Johnston, you say, I think you said you want to do BFD, so you don't want to like do a nursing the nursing Ausbildung. You want to come to Germany through BFD. So according to what you have, that's more than enough if you want to do BFD. But also if you want to do Ausbildung, the you have a public health certificate. That is also actually good enough if you're applying for Ausbildung, if you want to apply for Ausbildung. Also, if you want to apply for BFD, that's more or less just good enough. So you don't need to go and do like an extra 6 months nursing aid course. You actually do not need that. Millie, Santana is asking, can I apply for BFD myself and be successful? Because the agents here are charging. Wow, Santana, you mean you're applying BFD through an agent? I don't know of any agents that actually people apply through for BFD or FSJ. The ones I know that people use agents, that is when you're applying for au pair. That is the one I know people use agents. But FSJ and BFD in 2022, you can apply yourself. You can do it yourself. You don't need an agent. You don't need to waste money through agents in order for you to apply for BFD. Hey, that is too much. You do not need an agent. Santana, I don't know if you've watched my other videos on FSJ and BFD. I gave different institutions that you can apply for FSJ and Ausbildung and BFD. So that is why I'm wondering, like, you do not need to apply to any agent in order for you to come to Germany as a volunteer. You can actually absolutely do it by yourself. As I did it by myself when I was back in Kenya. And the organization that took me in was called Erlebnis. I'm just writing it in the chat. Erlebnis Pädagogik. That is the organization that took me in. But there are so many organizations in Germany that you can actually apply to. So there's Erlebnis Pädagogik, there's Caritas, there's Diakonie, there's there's Wolfherzwerk. So these are like the ones that I personally know, like here in Baden-Württemberg, because they are widespread. So if you want to apply for BFD or FSJ or Ausbildung, most of the times these are the common ones that you can actually apply to. So you really do not need to have an agent. The way you're saying from Zimbabwe, you can apply directly to these organizations, just sending your applications, and yeah, from there you'll be taken in. So don't worry about the agents. I think they're just going to eat your money. Yeah. Miki Chege is saying, können Sie mir ein paar Tipps darüber geben, was muss man tun, um eine Ausbildung erfolgreich bestehen zu können? Was muss man darauf achten, um die Probezeit bei der Ausbildung bestehen zu können? Also, Miki, I don't know which kind of Ausbildung you're doing, but I'll give an example of my own, because I'm doing the nursing Ausbildung. And you just need to focus. You just need to study. Like, there's no corners. There's no shortcut in this. But you see, for us, for example, as the way we are in the nursing Ausbildung right now, we are actually, because I'll be joining my second year in next month. Actually, next month is when I'm starting my second year. So right now I'm almost finishing my first year. So Probezeit in the Ausbildung is usually 6 months. So There's actually in the first month, I really don't know. You just need to, you know what counts. You don't need to fail to have a lot of Feldzeiten. I'm so sure. I don't know if you're in the Ausbildung, but you need to know that Feldzeiten actually count when you're in the Ausbildung. So you need to know that you're not supposed to fail, to be missing a lot of classes during your Ausbildung, because it will actually affect you by the time you're supposed to be sitting for your Zwischenprüfung and you have a lot of Feldzeiten. It can actually affect your that process of you wanting to do the Prüfung. So you need to achten auf deine Feldzeiten. And then another thing, the Klausurs that we do, like the cuts. Those are the, you know, the cuts or the Klausurs that we do. You need to make sure at least you don't score, you know, like, you know, the grading system in Germany, in the Ausbildung or whatever, just allgemein, the grading system, they don't do it like the way us we do, like A B C D E. Then they do 1 to 6. So 1 is an equivalent of an A, and 2 is an equivalent of a B. I'm not so sure, but yeah, 1 is an equivalent of an A, and the pass mark is actually 4. So you need to make sure if you're doing your Klausurs, at least be above average, like above the pass mark, and the average mark is 4. So when you're doing your Klausurs and everything, all your Praxisbesuche, like your practical exams, you need to make sure that at least you're above average. You're getting at least maybe 2, 3 around there, so that by the time you're actually going to do your Zwischenprüfung, you're actually bereit, and you have because all those marks from the first year, the first Klausurs that you'll be doing, they all count up to the time you're actually supposed to sit for your Zwischenprüfung before the main exam, because the main exam is coming in 3rd year. But all your, you know, these small tests, they actually count. So you just need to ensure that you actually you're at least above average. But yeah, that's actually manageable. Above average is manageable. Yeah, I hope I have answered your question, Mike. For the Probezeit is only 6 months into the Ausbildung. I don't think there's anything difficult in that. It's a very short period of time, and the first month of Ausbildung, it's never that tough. Yeah, like maybe in the nursing Ausbildung, according to me, it's not been that tough for me. So, and another thing is the language. I know the language is a big challenge, especially for us foreigners. But yeah, we still manage to, you know, to get these things. I hope I've answered your question, Mike. Or I don't know. I hope I've answered your question. Should one start looking for institutions after getting B1? Or even in the process, ukisoma B1, you can start looking. How long does it take for the institutions to respond to applications? Elizabeth, I think I've answered this already, but I can still answer it again. If you're in the process of you doing your B1, you can still start your application. Like, you can just start your application, because some institutions actually take in people with an A2. Like, it's not necessarily for you to have a B1 if you're applying for volunteer social year or BFD. It's not a necessity for you to have B1. You can have an A2 and you can be taken in. But the problem will be if you're in Kenya, especially like if you're outside Germany, let me just say allgemein. If you're outside Germany and you're applying for BFD or FSJ or Ausbildung, and you actually have a B1 or you actually have an A2, so the main problem will be the embassy. The embassy is going to disturb you a little bit. So it's always safe for you to just have the B1, because the requirement at the embassy while you're applying for FSJ or BFD is usually a B1. That's according to how they have written their requirements for the embassy. But for certain organizations, it's actually not a must for you to have a B1. So yeah, it's always conflicting. But just to be on the safe side, just get your B1, but you can start applying for your FSJ or your BFD even before you finish your B1, because yeah, the process of you applying and being taken in, it takes a while, you know. So yeah. Hi Nina, thanks for joining. Josephine, how long does the Ausbildung take? The Ausbildung takes 3 years. That is the nursing Ausbildung. I'm actually talking about the nursing Ausbildung. But there are other Ausbildungs. You guys need to understand, in Germany, we have different Ausbildungs. And if you're new to my channel, by the way, an Ausbildung is like how do I say it? It's like a training. Is it a training? Yeah, it's like a vocational training or something like that. So we have, like in Germany, we have like schulische Ausbildungs and praktische Ausbildung. So for example, nursing is a praktische Ausbildung. But if you choose to do, there are other schulische Ausbildungs. For example, what is the name? If you want to work in these things to do with biotechnology, if you do an Ausbildung in biotechnology or those kinds of things, they are always schulisch, which means you'll be in school most of the times than at your practical, you know, your practical place of work. But as opposed to nursing, you're more at work than school. But we're always shifting, but we are more or less at work than school. So that's the difference. Yeah. Nina, how long would you recommend that someone volunteer in their country before applying for FSJ? You don't need to volunteer in your country before applying for FSJ, Nina. You really don't. Like, you absolutely don't. All you need is just a recommendation. Like, when you're applying for your FSJ or you're applying for BFD, you just need like a recommendation, maybe from any kind of institutions that you have ever worked in. That could be like Red Cross, or working in a hospital, or working with kids in a how do you say this, in a kinderheim of English, like in a children's home. Like, you can just get any, you know, you just need to get like a certification from anything that has to deal with community development and social work in your country. So that could be anything. That could actually be you helping out people in church or something like that, you see. So you do not need to have already volunteered in your country before you can actually be taken in to do volunteer. Absolutely not at all. So yeah. Are there universities teaching degree in nursing in Germany, or it's just the nursing Ausbildung? Yes, there is a degree. There's a nursing degree. If you want to do a degree in nursing, there's definitely a nursing degree, and there's the Ausbildung. But in Germany, as far as I know, in Germany, most people just do Ausbildungs. You know why? Because if you decide to do Ausbildung, then you're definitely going to get paid during the period that you're actually doing your school and stuff. You're definitely going to get paid. But for if you choose to go to the university, then it's either you need a scholarship. You see, that's the difference. In the university, it's like you need a scholarship before you join uni. And university, the program is actually very different. Yeah. But yes, there's a degree in nursing in Germany. I have tried to actually find the difference between someone doing a degree in nursing and Ausbildung, but I really don't see the difference. The difference will be because these people who are doing nursing at the university, they do a lot of theory, more theory than practicals. So they themselves, like if you, for example, if you decide to do like a master's, if you decide to do like a master's in nursing, it will mean like you don't want to be you'll be in a hospital setting, but you actually be more in the administrative kind of work at the hospital. So you're not actually going to be, you know, doing the kind of things that nurses actually do, like being with the patients, you know. But if you do like a master's degree in nursing, then that will mean you be in the administrative kind of work in the hospital setting. So yeah, that's the difference. And as for the nursing degree, I know of a couple of people who do have done nursing degrees, and they're just working like the people who have done the Ausbildung. So I need to do more research on the difference between the degree and the nursing Ausbildung, because I have not. I need to ask my teacher. She needs to, you know, to give a clear explanation, because I really cannot tell. The only thing I know is that Ausbildung, you're more in the practical place of work than school. So yeah, that could be the difference, but more or less it's just the same. I also, hey Millie, can you please scroll down your chat? Oh, I have written a few questions earlier, but I want to assume you didn't see them. Oh, okay. No, I haven't seen that. Lamini, I think you can write it again because I haven't seen it. Susan, you have a daughter, she's 12. How long will it take for me to bring her in Germany too? And also, what are the conditions? Susan, I don't know. Are you in Germany or you're in Kenya? I think you told me you're in Kenya. If you're in Kenya and you want to come to Germany with your daughter, that is a very complicated process. I must say, it's not going to be very easy unless you have someone here in Germany who can invite your daughter. You know, like someone can invite your daughter, and like when you're going through that process at the embassy, they are able to provide evidences that your daughter will be well taken care of. She will have a place to stay. All her accommodation will be taken care of. Her health insurance and all those kinds of things will be taken care of. Well, that might be an option. But for you to just come in with your daughter from Kenya and come to Germany through volunteer and come with your daughter, it's very difficult. Yeah, it's just very difficult. Like the embassy has a lot of restrictions on that, so it's always a very difficult matter unless you're married. If you're married, let's say if you're married to a German, that's very easy, honestly. You would just get yourself a family reunion visa and that's it. It will not be anything complicated. But if not, you really need to certify that you're coming to Germany and your daughter is going to be well taken care of. So that is always the thing. And if you're doing, if you're coming to do FSJ, you just know, probably unless the people that are going to give you FSJ actually have an understanding that you have a child with you, and they can give you like an apartment for you and your child, and they will cater for, you know, if you have a child, then your health insurance definitely caters for your child as well. So that is not an issue, but the issue is the accommodation in Germany. That is the issue. And if you come to do a volunteer, most of the times, they only provide accommodation for you. So that is why it actually contradicts itself, as far as I know. How long does it take for the high school certificate to be recognized in Germany? It depends with the Bundesländer. in Germany we have something called Bundesland. Bundesland is like a province. So we have 16 provinces in Germany. So for example, where I am in Baden-Württemberg, and Baden-Württemberg, like the capital is Stuttgart. So if you send in your school certificate, normally you send it to the Regierungspräsidium. So it might take probably 3 months or weeks. It depends. Sometimes it honestly takes a longer period of time. So which is why if you coming to Germany and maybe you have done like FSJ or BFD and you want to transition and start doing your Ausbildung, then you have to send this your certificates very so schnell wie möglich. Like you need to send it very early, in the early stages of you being in the BFD, so that they can process it, because it varies. It can take longer and it can take shorter. So I can say from a few weeks to maybe like 3 months. So yeah. So I really oh yeah, I have found the question Dlamini wrote. My question is, are the applications for Ausbildung nothing always open for anyone to apply anytime? Yes, they're always open for you to apply anytime. You can apply any time at any period of time, but most of the times they take in depending on your school. For example, like my school, they take in people in the April intake and the October intake, so twice a year. So in between, if you want for April, you can start applying probably like the previous year, like 4 months before or 5 months before. And if you want for October, yeah, so which is why I'm just saying you can apply actually at any time. There are definitely no restrictions for that. Yeah. Oh my God, Johnson, my son is sick. He has Schnupfen. You know, it's a little bit cold. The weather is not nice. Sprachcoach Maria. So Schatz, nein. Wait, Elizabeth, you're asking about the nursing degree. Is it taught in English or purely German? Nursing most of the time is just of Deutsch. Because if you study nursing in English, who are you going to administer? Like, you cannot speak to the patients of English. You have to learn it in German. Yeah. It's of Deutsch. Deswegen, for the nursing studium, if you want to study nursing in Germany, most of the time you need like a C1. Ausbildung, you need a B2. So, yeah. Which means your German still has to be, yeah. Do they need the original copy or a copy of the high school certificate? They need the original. They need the original, but if you're sending them your original certificate, then at the post office they need to send it through an Einschreibung. They need to do an Einschreibung and a Rückschein, so that you know these people are going to receive your documents, and they'll be in safe hands. They're not going to get lost. So yeah, but you need to do you need to send your original copies, and they need to be eine beglaubigte Kopie. Let me write it on the chart. Beglaubigte Kopie. So you need to go to a Stelle, and then you need to do a Beglaubigung of your certificate, so that they can certify that those certificates are actually real certificates and not forged certificates. So yeah, you need a Beglaubigte Kopie of your certificates, as well as you do a translation of the certificates, and then you send them. You have to translate your certificate into the German language and send it. Do many organizations offer accommodation? Yes. When it comes to nursing, they offer a lot of organizations actually offer accommodations. Also, FSJ BFD, they also offer accommodation, but it depends. For example, if you choose to do your FSJ or BFD in a kindergarten, kindergartens don't offer accommodation. So that one you need to know. And if you also choose to do FSJ in a kindergarten, they don't offer accommodation. And the Ausbildung in a kindergarten is also a schulische Ausbildung. So they also don't give you money. If you choose to work in a kindergarten and also do Ausbildung there, they don't give you, because it's a schulische Ausbildung, you're not going to get any money. But you can apply for some money, a few money that you can apply for if you want to work in a kindergarten. So which is very different from nursing. Nursing, most of the times, accommodation is catered for, as well as the Vergütung, the money. So yeah, that's the difference. So, is it possible to volunteer using a language visa? I am already in Germany, and is the BFD strictly 1 year, or it can be less months, like 5 months? Doing volunteer using a language visa, that I'm not so sure. Normally, they have to change the visa. If you came to Germany through a language visa, it means once your language visa is over and you have applied for FSG or BFD, then when you go to the Ausländerbehörde, they're going to change your visa into the volunteer social year visa. So I don't think you can do a language visa with a volunteer social year, because BFD is a whole new contract in itself. And if you have a contract with BFD, it means you need a new Aufenthaltstitel for that same kind of thing. So I don't think you can work with the language visa and start BFD, because BFD is a contract in itself. And it's not a must for you to finish the 1 year. It's not a must, but it depends with the organizations. You can do it actually for half a year, and if you feel like you want to transition and start your Ausbildung, or if you get an Ausbildungsstelle, so yeah, definitely you can leave. It's not like it's by force for you to finish the 1 year. And also, if you finish the 1 year and you feel like you have not found a place to do Ausbildung, or and you still want to stay, then you can actually extend it up to 18 months. BFD and FSU, you can extend it up to 18 months, depending on the organization, depending on the terms and conditions of the organization. But most of the times, it's usually 1 year, but you can shorten it, or you can add a little bit, like 6 months. So, yeah. Gilt die Übersetzung und Anerkennung von Schulzeugnisse? Gilt die Übersetzung und Anerkennung von Schulzeugnisse für alle Ausbildungen, oder hängt es davon ab, ob eine Ausbildung reglementiert oder nicht reglementiert ist? Ja, Mike, es gilt für alle Ausbildungen. Also wenn du deine Zeugnis übersetzt hast, ja, klar, es gilt für alle Ausbildungen. Also wenn du eine andere Ausbildung machen möchtest, ja klar. Mhm. Es hängt nicht davon ab, eine Ausbildung hat. Ja, es gilt für alle anderen Ausbildungen auch. Because if you do the Übersetzungen, the Anerkennung of alle your Schulzeugnisse, then for example most of the time you will get if you do an Anerkennung of your high school certificates, most of the time they're going to give you a Realschulabschluss, and if you get that Realschulabschluss Anerkennung, if you want to apply any other kind of Ausbildung, then yeah, definitely they're going to take you, because it's gültig normalerweise, yeah. About the certificates, what about someone already in Germany or FSJ? Will they still need to verify your high school certificate to enroll for your Ausbildung? About the certificate, what about someone already in Germany on FSJ? Would they still? Yes, yes, Elizabeth. Before you can start Ausbildung in Germany, you need die Anerkennung und Übersetzung von deinen Schulzeugnisse. You still need to verify your certificates before you start Ausbildung. So yeah, even if whether you're in Germany or you're not in Germany. Do the organizations you mentioned take volunteers throughout the year or only certain months? They take most of the times. I'm just going to give you like an Überblick. Most of the times they take in from September, October, April. Those 3 months, October, September, or beginning of August. I mean, end of August. It's always end of summer. Summer ends in August. So end of August, beginning September, and October, and also April. But you might find some actually taking people in between January, February, March. But the months of summer, not really. The months of summer, like between June, July, August. Not quite. But the rest of the year, yeah, you can be taken in. But mostly they take in people in those months that I've said, April, October, and September. Yeah, Dlamini, I'll definitely save this live. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this live. Like, I was not even expecting people to turn in. I was like, let me just see if people are going to join. And yeah, you guys have actually joined in, and I'm so glad that you guys decided to join my live video today. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Also Miki Chege, du sprichst aber sehr gut Deutsch. Ich muss ehrlich sagen. Und du kommst aus Kenia, bestimmt. Do you guys have any other further questions? Because I don't think other people are joining this live. Cynthia Juma, oh my god. I just woke up one day and I said, oh, this hair has got to go. No, seriously, I have a lot on my plate. You know, normally I actually do my own hair, and in Germany we don't have salons for black people. That's the biggest challenge living in Germany. Shut. Nine shut. The biggest challenge in Germany. Nine. The biggest challenge in Germany is doing your hair. That's the biggest challenge. So I was contemplating maybe I should lock my hair, and then I just decided, oh no, I've had enough. Let me just shave it. I can't do it because I still have to concentrate on my studies, and I have a child, so I can't do both. It's too much for me. Yeah, thank you so much, Nina. Thank you so much for joining, you guys. I really appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, my son fell sick actually yesterday. He was running some high temperatures yesterday, so because he has a cold. He has Schnupfen. Well, my studies, you guys, I have a Klausur tomorrow. I'm actually supposed to be studying. I have 2 Klausurs tomorrow. This is like my last Schulblock before I join second year. So tomorrow I have a test. I'm supposed to write a test tomorrow, and Wednesday too as well. But the studies are actually going quite well. I can't complain. It's just that it's a little bit overwhelming for me. If you see, up until I have shaved my hair, it's not a joke. But yeah. Yeah, we appreciate his time. Is there a minimum high school grade required to do nursing Ausbildung? Elizabeth, you know how it works in Germany? Sorry, Schatz. How it works in Germany, I have people who I know from my home country in Kenya. They had a C plus, and they are doing nursing in Germany. So if I have to compare nursing in Germany, I think they're very. Once you come in with your high school certificate and you do the Anerkennung of your certificate, they're the ones who are going to determine whether you will get, because they have to grade it into their German system. And once they grade it in their German system, a high school certificate is an equivalent of a Realschulabschluss, depending on how you performed. But I have seen people who had like a C plus and they actually got the Realschulabschluss, and they're doing the Ausbildung. So that's it. You actually don't have to worry about the grades, because Schatz, 9. Because if you, for example, if you got like a C, I'm just giving an example, like if you got a C at at your high school certificate, and then you do the Anerkennung and they give you like a Hauptschulabschluss. If you get a Hauptschulabschluss, then that will mean you have to do a 1-year Ausbildung before you start the 3 years Ausbildung, but they will still take you. So if you get a Hauptschulabschluss, after they have translated, after they have done the Anerkennung of your certificate, you have to do the einjährige Pflegeausbildung before you start the 3 years Ausbildung, which means you're going to be in the Ausbildung for 4 years. But if they do the Anerkennung, Schatz, 9. 9, stop. I'm doing live. I'm live, okay? Okay? Go to Papa. Yeah, so if they do the translation of your certificate and the Anerkennung and you get a Realschulabschluss, then you're good to go. You don't need an einjährige Ausbildung dazu before you can start the 3 years. So you will just start the 3 years, and yeah, that's it. Let me see. do your own locks, that would be best. Nina, I actually wanted to do locks, but it's still time consuming for me. Right now, I just want to concentrate on my school, and yeah. What about accountant jobs, Millie? Accountant? Accountant. That's a little bit difficult as a foreigner. Does one get paid if they don't go to work during duales Ausbildungsberuf? Does one get paid if they don't go to work? If you don't go to work, how can you get paid? You can't get paid if you're going to work. I mean, you can't get paid if you're not going to work. Like, if you're doing a duale Ausbildungsberuf, does one get paid if they don't go to work? How can you? Yeah, of course they will not pay you if you're not going to. If you're not going to work, how are they going to pay you? No. What can one do in the case that you've been rejected by many FSJ or the BFD organizations? Do you perhaps have any suggestions of what one can do in that case? Oh, if you've been rejected, then there's one thing that you're actually not doing right. It's either what you wrote on your motivation is not, it's actually not, how do you say it? Like they're not convinced. That's why you're getting a lot of rejections, or I don't know why you could be getting so many rejections actually. I would suggest if you do according to the way it depends on how you presented yourself. You know, presentation is everything. It depends on how you actually present yourself. So maybe there's one or two things that you're actually not doing right. That is why you're actually getting a lot of rejections. So you can look into how you write your motivational letter while applying, or I don't know what you're currently doing. You know, there are so many factors. You know, it depends on what you're currently doing, or how you presented yourself. Yeah, I think that also counts. You know, I have had a few interviews from there. Even with B1 Sprachniveau, that is... Guys, can you just give me a moment? Hey, Schatz. Even with B1 Sprachniveau, that is, could it perhaps be because one isn't applying during the peak months you mentioned? Oh, yeah, it could actually be. It could actually be. And also, you know what, you guys, so many people want to come to Germany. So it could be they're also picky because people from different countries want to come to Germany. You can see people from these other I think it's Eastern European countries like Romania, I don't know, Ukraine, all these other Eastern European countries. People are they also want to come to Germany. But their case is different because then they don't need like a visa the way us we need visas to come because they're already in the European, geography. But us, we need visas, we need this and that. So there's so many factors as to why you can have a B1, you can have all the requirements. And maybe at that time, the organization, they're also trying to sieve in because they're also receiving probably applications from different parts of the world. Indians also want to come to Germany. People from Asia, they want to come to Germany. Africans want to come to Germany. So Germany is basically, people want to come to Germany. So they also have to sieve. So when you're doing your application, make sure when you're doing your application, you're doing it to your level best. That's all I can say. Just do it to your level best, and how you present yourself. That's will determine whether they are convinced they want to take you or not. Shots. Cynthia, how long have I have been? I'm almost 6 years in Germany, since 2016. I have been in Germany since 2016. How long have you encountered? Brian, don't start with the racism part. Yes, I have. For as long as, you know what, I have come to realize, for as long as racism, I think racism is just everywhere. For as long as you're looking like me, definitely racism is good. It's just everywhere. The United States, everywhere there's racism. So yeah, I have encountered racism. I was a little bit you know, like, I never wanted to give it a chance to affect me mentally, and thank God right now I really don't care. Like, I know how to deal with those racist people. So yeah, I have. Even in school, you know what? Even in school, like at school, at work, it's there. It's definitely there. But you have to be strong. You have to be strong enough to counteract with these kinds of you know, microaggressions or those kinds of things. Like, you just have to know yourself. You have to know yourself. You don't have to let anybody. Nobody should ever bring you down because of your skin color. Like, nobody should ever do that kind of thing. You have to face the person. I always face the person. No one is going to intimidate me. I don't allow that kind of nonsense. Adlamini, please do have any tips and expectations during nursing Ausbildung interview, or it's not much you can share. Oh, okay. Well, during the interviews, you're actually going to be given, like, there's something you're going to write, like a test. They'll give you like a test, you know, just to test your mind if you're actually really ready for the Ausbildung. So maybe they can give you like a you know, after the interview, like after the one-on-one, they have asked you, you have introduced yourself. Stop. You have introduced yourself on why you want to do the nursing Ausbildung and stuff. And then after that, they're going to give you like a small quiz. Maybe they can give you like how many like what are you supposed to do when a patient is, which question was I actually asked during the interview? They asked me about this what was that? It was something to do with infusion. That's what I was asked on the during my interview. It was something to do with infusion legen. So, but you don't need to be worried about that interview. They will just ask you a few questions here and there to test your knowledge if you actually ready to be in the nursing Ausbildung. But it's all shut. You guys, give me a moment, please. Hey, you come here. Hey, lovely. Take him, please. So I'm back, you guys. Yeah, as I was saying, during your nursing interview, it all depends. All these organizations are different, the hospitals are different. So you might go in and you can do like an interview and they're not going to disturb you with a lot of questions. And you can go somewhere else and they're going to bombard you with some questions. But don't worry, if they want to take you, they'll take you. If they don't want to take you, they'll not take you. That's it. Can one send you an email for help, please? Yeah, Queenie, let me write my email address here. Simply Millie at gmx.de. Yeah, I have written my email. You can email me. Sorry, this is not it. It's simply Millie at gmx.de. Yeah, that's my email. Sally, hi Sally. Sally is one of my loyal subscribers. I'm always seeing you on my comment section. You're most welcome. How is your house building going? Is it hard or is it's manageable? Where can you advise to get contracts? The Kranken house or Heim? It's actually getting tough, Sally. I won't lie, but I'm managing. Advice to get it in a Kranken house or Heim? I definitely prefer a Kranken house. Like if you're a person who, because I prefer Kranken house over Heim. Simply because of the setting. Because if you go to Heim, you know, in the Heim, the patients live there. The patients actually live there. That's like their home. But in Kranken house, sick people just come in and go home like for a short period of time. So there are two different things when it comes to that. And when it comes to you working in a Kranken house, there's a lot of you're always meeting new people, new patients every single day. So you're discovering new things every single day. So like if you get patients from you know, Notfallaufnahme or the how do you call this thing in English? Like there's so much you can learn when you're actually in Krankenhaus. If you're someone who is really into nursing, then I would advise Krankenhaus auf jeden Fall over Heim, because Heim, Pflegeheim, those people, you're actually treating same people every single day. You have like, let's say in your station you have like 20 patients, so you're only responsible for these 20 patients and they live there. You see them every single day, so you don't, they're you're always treating them the same one, like the same patients. So but if you're in Krankenhaus, a patient will come, maybe they're just there for 2 days, 1 day, and then they go home. Another patient comes in with another kinds of things, you know. So for me, I prefer Krankenhaus. Have you ever gone back to Kenya since since you went to Germany? Actually not. I haven't. Thank you very much. We'll write you soon, yeah. What level of German language are you at and how did you continue to learn after you came to Germany? Well, Sally, you know what, you guys? I did a Bachelor of Arts degree in Germanistic when I was in Kenya. So for me, I never did any course. Like I never did a language course when coming to Germany or anything like that. I have never done a language course. So because for me, I studied German in high school, and then I transitioned into the campus, and I did a Bachelor of Arts degree in the German language. So for me, it's a very different case scenario. But don't ask me why I came to Germany and I started doing Ausbildung. The reason is because I used to do a Bachelor of Arts degree, and I never wanted to be a teacher. I'm not, like, teaching is not one of my things. So I was contemplating, what am I even going to do? If I was supposed to do like a master's degree, then what was I actually going to do? A master's degree in what? Because for me, I had German as my major at campus. So when coming to Germany, I'm coming to Germany and I'm not a native speaker of the German language. So I cannot be a teacher, you know? And so I was thinking, so what am I going to do with myself? And by the time I came to Germany, you know, I came to Germany and I missed out on my graduation back in Kenya. So I came and then I started on the FSJ, and then I found myself in Ausbildung, and that's how I actually found myself in Ausbildung. And I never went to campus simply because if I wanted to start another degree, I definitely need either a scholarship. If I want to do another course, I need a scholarship, and I never got a scholarship, so which is why I'm actually in the nursing Ausbildung. Normally, maybe I was supposed to do something else. Maybe I was supposed to be in tech or something, but yeah, you never know the reason why you actually doing some things. I think God has his own reasons why everything happens the way it happens. But yeah, that's the story of my life. Um okay. Hi, Akomea. Akomea is also one of my subscribers. I always see you in my comment sections. Hello. Uh, so what would you like to know about the FSJ in Germany? To be precise? Elizabeth, what happens if someone has done au pair but has not achieved B1 level of German? Can they get enrolled for BFD, or will they have to do au pair again? You cannot do au pair again. Like, why would you do au pair again? What happens if someone has done au pair but has not achieved B1 level of German? Can they get enrolled for BFD, or will they have to do au pair again? You do not have to do au pair again. Most of the times, if you're in Germany already, it's very easy for you to find a Stelle. Like, it's so easy, more easy than it's easier than if you're outside of Germany. So you do not need a B1 if you're looking for a Stelle. You can just look for a Stelle. You can bring the B1 certificate later. So if you just have like your A2, you can apply. I'm so sure they'll take you for as long as you're in Germany. It's not as complicated as if you're not in Germany. So yeah. Um. When one arrives in Germany for a BFD, what would you advise them to do in terms of documentations? In terms of documents preparations, if you want to do Ausbildung later. If you're coming, if you're coming to Germany, make sure you bring your. Oh, I always forget this thing. Your birth certificate. Your birth certificate. Uh, your your high school certificates, or if you have like your campus certificates. Those are the three main ones actually. Don't forget your birth certificate, because they're always asking for birth certificates before you join Ausbildung. So I never really understand why they do that, but yeah. And also, which other documents do they always ask for? Once you're here, you need to do a few things here and there. For example, you still need to do like a Polizeiführungszeugnis. Like, you need to go and get a Polizei Führungszeugnis, because they need to check if you are a criminal or not. So you have to do that kind of thing. Polizeiführungszeugnis, and all your school certificates and documents, and your birth certificates. So yeah. Yeah, Sally. You're welcome. So yeah, don't forget to like the video, you guys. I'm so this is so nice. Yeah, not so many people are actually joining, so do you guys have any other further questions? Leslie, how can one make sure he is given accommodation by the organization hosting him for birthday? You cannot make sure because they have to give you accommodation. If you're applying from Kenya, that is a requirement for the embassy. The embassy is not going to give you a visa if you don't have accommodation in Germany. They are not going to give you a visa. Which is why, if you are applying from back home, it's recommended to find an organization that actually offers accommodation. Because not all offer accommodation, but most actually do. So, yeah. You don't have to make sure, you just have to look for an organization and ask them if they offer accommodation. If not, yeah, then you have to search for another one that actually offers accommodation, unless you have a family member here in Germany, or you have someone that is actually going to host you during the period that you're going to do BFD, and you're sure, and then you can actually apply to an organization that has no that's not offering accommodation, but they're giving you BFD. So in that case, you're actually going to be accommodated by someone else, who is not going to be yeah, you're going to be accommodated by someone else. So you just have to know that accommodation and health insurance, those are very important when you're going to apply for your visa, because they're not going to give you a visa without health insurance, without accommodation. Gladys, hi. Thank you so much. Can a 45 years old be in certificate get a birthday place in Germany? Yeah, you can, because BFD is actually it's always between the ages of 15 to up until, I don't know. Anybody can actually volunteer with BFD, not FSJ. FSJ is for young people. But BFD is also for young people and also for older people. But if you're coming from Kenya, if you're coming, let's say, from Kenya or from other parts of the, let's say just like Africa, you need to be at least 18 years of age. So if you're like 15, 16, I don't think they're going to be, you're actually even in school, you don't even have a high school certificate. So let me just say from 18 years of age up to, yeah, so yeah, a 45-year-old can also do BFD in Germany. Yeah. Health insurance is taken care of by the organization regarding, yes, you do not need to pay your health insurance. The organization is the one that is going to cater for your health insurance, because yeah, that's just how it is in Germany. The organization is the one that is supposed to cater for your health insurance. Hi Akech, how does one ensure that they get in a city or next to a city? You just have to apply to a city or next to a city. Because for me, when I was applying, when I was back in Kenya, hey, I landed in a village. Trust me, I regretted it. So if you want to apply in a city, just apply in a city. Like, yeah. You can't say like ensure, because you just have, if you want to apply, let's say in Hamburg, just apply in Hamburg. Just look for Freie Stelle in Hamburg. Or if you want to apply in München or Frankfurt or Stuttgart or whatever, just apply there. Did you have to present your health insurance from your organization to the Kenyan embassy? Was it a detailed paper or just a page stating that from the day you arrived you'll be insured? How was it actually? It's been a long time, you know. It's been almost 6 years. Yes, because you know what happened? The organization sends you the contract. Like for me, they send me the contract, the original contract through DHL to Kenya. They send me the contract, and inside they have written that about the health insurance and all those kinds of things. So everything is included. So yes, you have to present that to the embassy. And at the embassy, you're actually presenting your original documents from Germany. So the contract from Germany in its original state, everything included, the health insurance and stuff, because that the organization, it's all of it is in the contract. The health insurance and stuff, everything is in the contract. Yeah, and the invitation letter as well. So yeah. Some organizations require one to have a residence permit before applying, yet the embassy cannot give you. Oh yes, yes. That is always a very tricky situation. I think they never really understand, because how are you supposed to have a residence permit if you don't even have the contract in the first place? You first need the contract before you go to the embassy, and the embassy gives you the, you know, the visa to travel. So I really don't know what I can say about that, because that is just always a tricky situation. And yeah, it depends with the organization. Some organizations are actually very good in understanding, and some of them have dealt with a lot of foreigners, so they know how it is, they know the process. Tarisai, hi. Hi from Zimbabwe. Hey, I have fans from Zimbabwe. Hi, you guys. You're most welcome. I have B1 and have invested so much in language course. Our German embassy here has no dates for social year. Have been applying for nursing Ausbildung, but always okay. I'm so sorry to hear that. Tarisai, so do you want to apply directly to come to Germany as a nurse? Like, you want to apply just directly and come and start your Ausbildung, or do you want to come as a volunteer first, before, because you're telling me you have a B1, and for nursing Ausbildung you need a B2. So I don't know about Zimbabwe, because us in Kenya, I don't know if you guys also have Goethe Institute in Zimbabwe, but in Kenya we have Goethe Institute. It's actually also costly. The language course is actually costly normally. So yeah. Oh, Gladys, which states takes mostly foreigners? That depends. For example, the state that I am, there is a lot of foreigners. Baden-Württemberg. I mean Baden-Württemberg. Nordrhein-Westfalen. That's like my best Bundesland. I love Nordrhein-Westfalen. Nordrhein-Westfalen. Hey, Nordrhein-Westfalen. Yeah, Nordrhein-Westfalen is the Bundesland that my best Bundesland for foreigners, if you ask me. But currently, I'm in Baden-Württemberg. Baden-Württemberg is also a very nice Bundesland when it comes to, I've written the spelling wrongly, but it's Baden-Württemberg. It's so nice. Baden-Württemberg, it's in the southern part of Germany. And we also have Bayern. Bayern, it's also in South Germany. There's actually a lot of foreigners also in Bayern. But the problem with Bayern and Baden-Württemberg is that these people speak dialects. So we have like the High German, Hochdeutsch, and then we have the dialects. So Baden-Württemberg and German and Bayern, they have dialects. Baden-Württemberg has its own dialect, Bayern has its own dialect. So yeah, and they have their own cultures too. So if you compare it with Nordrhein-Westfalen, I love Nordrhein-Westfalen. It's with a lot of foreigners like Köln. I love Köln, Düsseldorf, those kinds of cities. It's just mwah. Yeah. Mm. So if you're telling me which ones I would recommend, I would say, yeah, South Germany is not that bad because the pay is actually nice. Like the highest paying provinces in Germany, I would say in South Germany, that is Baden-Württemberg and Bayern. They actually pay really well if you compare to other provinces. So yeah. But Nordrhein-Westfalen is also one of the, nice places for foreigners. So it would be good to come for BFD, but still companies are not responding. We also had that because of COVID, most organizations are not taking foreigners. Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, we in the COVID period, so it could be that a lot of things have changed since. A lot of things have actually changed. So like the world has currently, there's a lot of changes. There's a lot happening in the world at the moment. So that could also play, its part at the moment. We cannot downplay that. So yeah, that could also be one of the reasons why the intake of people has actually slowed down, probably. Yeah, because yeah, COVID has really changed a lot of things. Where can one get the health questionnaire that needs to be completed by the doctor when applying for BFD? That's when you get it in the hospital. Like for me, I remember when I was in Kenya, I just went to my hospital and yeah, the doctor filled it for me. Yes, I'm sure that is what you're asking for. Yeah, just go to the hospital, just go to your doctor and ask them. That's where you're going to get that the questionnaire. Um, it will be good to come for BFD, but still come. Okay, then I have already answered that. Apart from Krankenhaus and Altenheim, have you seen Africans get other FSG or BFD, for example, working in a museum? Well, that's the question, Ketch. I haven't seen it. I haven't met anyone, anyways. But I'm so sure there are Africans who volunteer in those kinds of places because we have Freiwilliges Ökologisches Jahr. Freiwilliges Ökologisches Jahr, that is like you could be working in a very different setting. Like you could be doing dealing with animals or plants. I don't know. That's what ecology actually means. So there are different kinds of volunteer social layers. So it's not just limited to you working in a kindergarten or Krankenhaus or Altenheim or whatever. The thing is, the ones that are flooded with foreigners is the ones that have to deal with Pflegeheim, Krankenhaus, Kindergarten, Heilerziehungspflege. That is like working with the behinderte people, people who are handicapped. Those are the ones that are actually flooded with foreigners. The reason why, I don't know, but that's just how it is. If you want to apply to a museum, you can try your luck, but I really don't know. I haven't met someone who told me they have done that kind of FSJ. So yeah. You can watch BR24 at Mediatek. Hey Brian, what do you mean by that? BR24 at MediaTek. So is it difficult to understand the German language in Bayern because of the... Yes, because of the dialects. Don't ask me. The first time I came, you know, for me, I went to a village, a small village here. I was like, it was like 1 hour drive to Stuttgart, the capital of Baden-Württemberg now, the province Baden-Württemberg. They speak dialects. Like if you're new, you're going to be confused. You're going to be like, hey, guy. Hey, which kind of language is this? It's going to sound like a totally new language to you. So yeah, that's the challenge. What other Ausbildungs are there other than nursing that one can apply for from home? Well, we have Ausbildungs that deal with the tech world. You know what, you guys? Right now in Germany, they have shortage in nursing, and they also have, I think they're looking for people in the tech world. So there are Ausbildungs in the tech world, things to do with tech, but I'm not in the tech world, so I really cannot answer that kind of question at the moment. But there are definitely other Ausbildungs. But you applying the Ausbildung from Kenya to Germany, the process of you applying with these other kinds of Ausbildung, I don't know the process because I haven't gone through it. So I'm so sorry. I can't give you so much details on that. Susan, which kind of question did you have? Sijalengaki. Oh, you want to find BFD in Krankenhaus? Okay. Susie, I have provided a lot of information on these kinds of things. I don't know. Have you tried applying it yourself? Like, have you tried sending in applications or something? Because me myself, I don't know what exactly I can do for you. Yeah. Like, do you want me to write the application for you, or how can I help? You can inbox me. You can send me an email. Yeah, we'll talk. Oh, okay. Friends of Earth. Okay. You mean... Okay, Brian, I got you. You know what, you guys, sorry if I skip your message because I read one message and then I have to answer. So before I come back and read the next one, I think it's already gone. So which is why if I skip your text, I'm so sorry. Cleopatra, I haven't even seen your text. I'm sorry. I don't know what you wrote about. I haven't seen it. Sorry. Okay. Let me just elaborate on what the question that... What question can ask after the visa interview is almost concluding? Most of the things that they will ask you during the interview, they will want to know, are you coming back after... So it depends on the kind of visa that you're actually applying. But for example, if you're applying for BFD or FSJ, then most of the questions that they are going to ask you is, are you going to come back to your country after the program? Are you returning back to your country, or you're staying there? And most of the time, you're not supposed to say you're staying there. You have to have a valid reason and convince the embassy that you're going to come back to your country. Yeah, so that's how you have to do it. You don't have to say, yes, I want to stay there. No, don't say you want to stay there. You have to say you're coming back to your country. That is the questions they like disturbing people, and they'll just ask you why, the reason why you want to come to Germany. You have to give a precise reason why you really want to come to Germany. So yeah. When applying, do we need to write to organizations like Diakoni? Yes, 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 yes. You can write. Okay, you know, when you're sending these applications, for example, Diakoni or Caritas, it's a very big organization. If you look at Caritas, for example, they have hospitals, they have Pflegeheims, they have different kinds of things. It's a very big organization. So you can just filter it down, and let's say maybe if you're looking for a Caritas, a hospital, for example, in a hospital setting, then you can, it will be, I think it could be better if you're actually specific. You have to be specific and say like, okay, you're sending your application to this particular hospital or this particular Pflegeheim. So because like Diakoni or Caritas is a very big organization, so you have to be very specific when you're sending your applications. Hey, how is dating in Germany? Dating in Germany is very funny. What can be your advice to new people coming for BFD etc in relation to dating German men? I hope I'm not off topic. No. You can just ask me these questions. I really don't mind answering. What can be your advice to new people coming for BFD etc? If you're coming as a new person, if you're coming to Germany, first things first, it's a whole different place. It's a whole like, there's definitely culture shocks. You know, you're coming to a very different culture from yours. The language barrier, you know, and how things are run here is very different. So it's like you're just switching from what you're used to in your home country and coming here with all the rules that are here in Germany. There's a lot. Like, you just have to you have to, how do I say it? You just have to know that you're coming to a new culture, a very different kind of culture from yours. So there's so much you're going to experience. There's the good, the bad, and the ugly. So yeah, just be ready for anything. But yeah, everyone, when you come to Germany, depending on the area that you're going to have different experience. People have different experiences. People never have the same experiences because yeah, if for example you go to Berlin, you're definitely going to have a different experience from if you're here in Stuttgart or where, like if you go to a village, if you go to a small town, if you go to a big city, the experiences are very different. So it depends, and the people that you're going to meet there, yeah, they're the ones that are going to influence your experiences. So yeah, everyone has a very different experience, but it's all worth it somehow. About dating in Germany, that is very, it's complicated, let me just say. But if you're an outgoing person, if you're someone who, I could say, if you're a foreigner and you're someone who is very open-minded and very sociable, very outgoing, you're good to go. But if you're someone who is a little bit withdrawn, hi, like, I can give an example of me. I'm not so, you know, like overly social, you know. I like, you know, my small circle, you know. I don't really like I'm not I'm not just over the top, like no, I'm not that kind of person. I'm honestly very chill, a very chill person. But all I'm saying, if you're a very outgoing person, then it's going to be very easy for you to mingle with people, you know, because gauging from the fact that German people are they're also just like this, you know, before they're open to you and making friends with them, it's so difficult. But if you're open-minded, yeah, all will be well, actually. um what question can I ask the interviewer? Hey, why would you need to ask the interviewer any questions? Is the interviewer the one going to get the visa, or are you the one who's going to get the visa? Sally, let dating issue have a video on its own. Hey, this might dilute our concentration. Oh, okay. Yeah, Johnston, you're right. Millie, hi. I wanted to ask, can I apply now before finishing B1? Just starting it, and how can I do it? Because I find the application, everything in quite hard German language. Oh. I have said I have answered this question already, but I think you were not there. But yeah, you can start your application even before you finish your B1. When you apply to an organization online and they tell you that they will get in touch with you after a week, do they interview you in German? Yes, they interview in German. But if your German is not as good, it depends on those people. They can, you know, they can interview in English, but not really. It's quite rare. It's quite rare, but they will not mind because they know your German is not good. So don't be worried about it. Just don't give yourself a lot of stress on that, because yeah, they actually know your German is not good. They know these things. If when they're dealing with the foreigner, they know. So don't worry. And what's the best time to apply, and what's the time lag between accepting your application and getting a visa contract? This all depends. It all depends with how fast the organization is going to respond to your application, and how fast the embassy is going to process your visa. So it all depends on this organization and the embassy and all these contracts. It all depends. Some people get it very fast. Like you can like the process of you getting a visa, you could get your visa in a few weeks. Some people could get their visa maybe after 2 months or 3 months. So it all depends. And also the organization responding to you, it also all depends. They can respond to you after a few weeks. It can take 2 months, it can take 3 months, so it depends. And I would say, if you're sending in your application, don't just send your application to one place, like, okay, I'm sending here and I'm just waiting for them, because if I don't get here, you can send your application here and maybe they will take months to respond, and then you're just waiting, and then maybe they say, oh, we're not taking you. So you see, I think it's better for you to apply in like different organizations, even 20. Just keep applying up until, you know, you get a response, and then you're sure, oh yeah, they're actually taking me, you know, because it all depends. You cannot just base your like, you cannot just say, oh, I think I'm just applying to this one, I think this one is the one I want, and this one is the one I'm going to get. Maybe they're not going to take you. So, you know, when you apply, wait, I think I missed out on so many questions here. What is the best time to apply, and what's the time lag between accepting your application and that one I have answered it. The best times to apply, you just apply at any time. Don't say these the best times to apply. You know what, the thing with German people, when it comes to them, like checking their emails and respond. They do that for as long as I know. My experience with them, they actually do respond, but it just depends. Maybe the person is getting a lot of emails, the one that is responsible for, you know, taking in the emails and stuff. Maybe they're getting a lot of emails, that's why it actually takes a while before they respond, but they actually do respond. So if the best times for you to apply, you just apply, you just send your applications. There's nothing like the best time to apply. You can send the applications right now, and maybe the person will check your email in the next 3 months or 2 months or a few weeks, depends. So which is why I would say you just apply. During the interview for BFD visa one, can be asked if they have a question. Well, if they ask you if you have a question concerning them, then you have to ask any question, because they are not the ones who are going to they are not the ones who want the visa. You're the one who wants the visa. So the question that you're actually asking them, it actually doesn't matter. The question that they're asking you during the interview is what matters, and your answers are the ones that matter. So you asking them the question, that doesn't really matter actually. So I wanted to ask the total requirements needed for the application. Which application are you talking about? BFD, FSJ, Ausbildung, which application? And okay, apart from September intake, is there another intake for BFD? Let's see. Yeah, there's an intake in September, April. Yeah, exactly. Those months that you have listed, those are the intakes. But yeah, they actually also take people in those other months, January, February, in between. Yeah, they also do. Apart from summertime. So summertime is the one that they don't really take a lot of people, because summertime most people are in holidays. For how long is the GOTE certificate B1 valid? Does the certificate have a duration of validity? Like, for example, it's only valid for 3 years. Yeah, I think it has a validity period. For example, I'm not so sure, but I think so. Like, if you have your certificate for the past, I don't know, you did B1 and you stayed for almost 5 years, I don't know if it's still valid. I'm not so sure. I need to check on that. I'm really not so sure. Oh, FSG requirements. The FSG requirement is a B1 language certificate. In most cases, a B1. Your school certificate, and maybe a certificate from a social, how do I say it? A certificate from any kind of organization that can certify that you actually took part in something like community development or social work. But it's not always the case, because, for example, if you're in Germany and you have done au pair and you want to do FSJ, then there is no way they're going to ask you for a certificate from another organization to certify that you have taken part in social work or community development. They understand you have done au pair and now you want to do FSJ, so you don't need an extra certificate. For as long as you have the language certificate and your school certificate, that's all that matters actually, if you're already in Germany. But if you're in your home country, it's a different case scenario. You will need these kinds of certificates so that they will be able to see, okay, you have done this in your home country and now you want to volunteer. So that maybe is going to give you points when you're applying, because you're not in Germany. If you're in Germany, it's a different case scenario. It's going to be very different for you while you're applying. So the FSJ requirements is just the language, your school certificates, and maybe a recommendation from an organization, let's say Red Cross or anything, any place, just anything. It could be anything, in a church, in a school, in a kindergarten. Yeah, just to certify that you actually took part in doing something there. It could be, I don't know, whatever you did there, just any kind of recommendation. But yeah, is it a requirement to have a first aid training if you're applying to an FSJ in the cranking house? It's not a requirement. Mm-mm. It's not a requirement. If you're applying from Kenya, it's a different case scenario. But if you're already in Germany, no, you do not need any of that. Mm-mm. And also, if you're applying from Kenya directly to come and do Ausbildung, your visa is also different from the FSJ visa, because one thing, you need to have a B2 language certificate, because the requirement of Ausbildung is a B2, is not a B1. So if you're applying for Ausbildung directly, let's say from Kenya, you need a B2 certificate. You will need to have already translated your certificates in Germany, which means you have to send your certificate to the Regierungspresidium here in Germany from Kenya. Like you're not here in Germany yet, but you have to send your certificates here. They need to do the Anerkennung, they need to do all those kinds of things before they can take you in, because those are the requirements of Ausbildung. So you need to have all the anerkannt Zeugnisse before you can go to the embassy. But the organization is going to send you everything. The organization will send you the contract, they'll send you the invitation letter and everything. So yeah, if you're applying directly from Kenya, it's a whole different process from FSJ and BFD if you're applying for Ausbildung directly from Kenya. But if you're already in Germany, it's also quite easier. It's easier than if you're back home. So yeah. Can you recommend someone to an organization? Must one have volunteer service recommendation from Kenya? You know what, you guys? It's not that I have direct contact with somebody from this organization, and you know, like the way us back home we usually have oh, I have connections, let me connect you to this kind of person because we know each other personally, so maybe they can chip you in. No. No. The only thing that I can do is for me to give you the links to these kinds of to these organizations, and then you are the one to do the job and apply. But I don't have like direct contact with somebody inside this organization that I can say, oh, can you connect this? Nah, I really don't. Must one have volunteer service recommendation from Kenya? It's not like a must, but if you're applying from Kenya, yes, it's a good thing if you already have a recommendation, because why do you want to do FSJ in the first place? Like, why would they take you? Why should they take you? They don't know you, so you're the one who has to convince them to take you. You know, if you don't have anything to show that you're actually interested in helping other people, like how are they going to know that you're actually interested? You know, if you bring a recommendation and you say, I have been working with Red Cross, or I have been doing this in the church, I have been helping the needy, I have been working with handicapped kids, I have been working with helping with feeding children in a children's home, you know, those kinds of things. Something to certify that you're actually interested in community development and social work, because that is the main purpose of volunteer. If you're coming to volunteer, you're coming to In these volunteer jobs, you're actually coming to help people. That is the main purpose of volunteer social year, actually, you know. So yeah, it's best if you have a recommendation from wherever. Yeah, but is it compulsory to have a certificate if you're applying for BFD from outside Germany? As I said, it's not compulsory. It's not compulsory, but you need it. You need it because you would just be having, let's say you would just be having your school certificate and your language certificate, and you are applying. So what is your reason for you applying? How are you going to write your motivation letter? Like, what are you going to write inside there in order for you to convince them that you actually want to do the social year? Like, why should they take you? What is so special about you that they should take you? You know, that is why I'm saying it's always a good thing if you have a recommendation from, you know, such kinds of organization back, from where you live, you know, from your home country. It is actually going to boost your chances of you being taken, rather than you just having okay, yeah, you have your school certificates, and yeah, you have your language certificate, but yeah, okay, are you really empathetic? Are you really ready to work with people? How are you going to cope working with people who actually are in need, you know? So yeah, so I would just say it's not a compulsory, but it's actually a good thing if you have it. So what if it's an internship recommendation letter but not related to social work? Okay, it depends which kind of internship. For example, if you say I have been working as I worked like a few months in, maybe where like in an office. If you worked in an office, I don't know which example I can give. Maybe you worked in a ministry of education, let's say, for example, in a certain department in the ministry of education. So yeah, that could be a good thing, yes, but I don't know. That is just part of your CV. It's not like it's a bad thing. It's actually not a bad thing if you have that kind of information. It's actually a good thing. It's part of your CV. But if you could have something else extra, because that is what BFD and volunteer social year is all about. Unless you're actually going to do a volunteer social year in something different, which could be like sports and housing, or working in a museum, as someone said here. Those are different things. When you're sending in your applications, they don't need any recommendation from things to do with you helping the needy, because they don't deal with helping the needy. They deal with people working in the museum, or working in the farms, or working in sports and housing. So that's a different case scenario. But most of the FSJ and BFD kind of things that foreigners apply is things to do with helping the needy. Those are the kinds of FSJs that you're actually going to be taking in very fast. Yeah. So wait, after coming in via BFD, how can one get her family in Germany? Which family? Why would you need a family? But would a first aid certificate from your home country be an advantage for FSJ? Yes, it would be an advantage for you, of course. Yeah, it would be. Must the volunteer experience be recent, like a year ago or something you're currently doing? No, it must not be recent, actually. No, it doesn't have to be. The Kenya in B with connection syndrome is just high. I have not understood. I have not understood that. You keep skipping my question. Oh my god. No, I'm so sorry. You guys, I'm not skipping questions. You know what? I'm taking my time to answer a question. So maybe by the time you write yours, it's actually gone. I have not seen it, but I'm not skipping your question. I'm so sorry, Cleopatra. You can write your question again. Wait, let me see. For my country, it's crazy. We don't have we don't have Goethe Institute, and I was told I can't write exams, but only if you're going for au pair, the embassy can give you the exams. Hey, oh my God, which country is that? Hey, you know what? The visa process is very different in other countries. So, I'm not, um, I'm not aware. What? Okay. Photography internship. Well, yeah, that could be just part of your CV because that's something you did. So, but in relation to you volunteering, I don't know. It doesn't have any relation with you doing volunteer, because that's just something else. That's something to do with art, you know. That is art. Photography and art, I think they go together. Environment is actually a good thing, yeah. What are the features of a motivational letter for somebody targeting Krankenhaus for BFD program? A motivational letter is just like a cover letter. They call it a motivational letter here, but it's actually just like a cover letter. But a motivational letter would be if you're targeting, let's say, a hospital for a BFD program. Then if you're introducing yourself, then you have to say you want to volunteer in a hospital. Why? Because you can work, you're a good team player, you know. You can take in responsibilities. You also you want to learn more about nursing, because you're actually just going to do BFD, so you're just going to volunteer. You're not a professional, so you just want to gain experience in the healthcare sector. So which is why you want to take part in volunteering in Krankenhaus. So it's just all about the reasons why, but it's also, it's individual, you know. Everybody has their own strength and weaknesses, you understand. But if when it comes to being in the nursing world, you need to be empathetic, because you're dealing with people, you're dealing with sick people. You need to be empathetic. You need to know that you're actually taking up responsibilities. You need to know that you're working with other people. So you need to be a team player, which is that's what I'm saying. And what else can you actually say? That this is not an Ausbildung, this is just BFD. So you know, it's not like you're going to start the career. You're just going to do, it's like a practicum. Yeah, you just want to see how it is working in a hospital setting. But you're the kind of person that loves helping other people, so you would want to do that as a volunteer. That's why you want to volunteer in a clinical setting, because you're interested. Later you want to pursue nursing. That could be actually a good thing, because you can say, yeah, I want to volunteer in Krankenhaus because later I'm actually interested in being a nurse. So you see, it just depends on how you twist your words. In your study, easy with German language or tough to a foreigner? Are you understand what they teaching with you? Be yeah. Yeah. You understand. The language is challenging. That's not a lie. It's really challenging. But I would tell you this. For example, in my class, we have foreigners, we have Germans. And just because they're German, it's not a guarantee for them to pass. You know, that's the funny thing. Just because that's their language does not mean they are more clever than you, who is a foreigner, with your B2. Not at all. Not at all. That is not always the case, because for example, us, when we do exams, let me give you an example. You know, the German language, it has borrowed a lot of words from English and French. So for me, a lot of words that are actually German, they have borrowed it from English. And me, I'm an English speaker, you know, I understand English. So for me, sometimes you might find the teacher is talking about something and she's actually explaining it, and she thinks it could be an English word, but maybe the Germans, they don't understand it, because then they're just used to the German language. But I understand it actually much better than they do. So it's not a guarantee that, yes, the language is difficult, but just because you're a foreigner, it's not that because you cannot speak the language according to the way they're speaking it, is that you're going to fail the exam or you're not going to understand the language. When you get in the Ausbildung, you'll actually get used to it. You'll get used to how the intonation and how the teacher delivers. You'll get used to it. So don't worry. Don't worry at all. Oh my god, wait. I think I need to go up because I have missed out on I meant my own family. Dula, okay. Let me go back. How can one get her family in Germany? Oh, you mean you want to reunite with your family in Germany? If you want to reunite with your family in Germany, then people always get like a family reunion visa. But if your family is in Germany and you come through BFD, then definitely you're going to meet them here. Or am I understanding that differently? Must the volunteer? No, that one I have already answered. Cleopatra, can you please write your question again in the comment section? I can't find it. For my country. Okay, I think I've answered those ones. Is your study easy or tough to operate? I have answered that as well. For volunteer, please target fields in Germany that is experiencing shortage. Johnston, I have not understood your question. Oh, Florence, that is Zambia. You know what? I really don't. I know a couple of YouTubers from Zambia, probably, but I don't know their channel names. But I would recommend you to go and find people that are from Zambia that came to Germany, and then they will guide you, because I really don't know about the process from other countries, because every country is different with their visa process. So about Zambia, I really never knew that that is how they run things there. You don't even have Goethe Institute, so that is actually a challenge. So, but I have seen people that are from Zambia who are in Germany. So I would advise you, if you can search for people that are from Zambia that came to Germany and did au pair or are doing FSJ. I think they're going to guide you so much better, because they know how they maneuvered their way and came to Germany. So yeah, I wish I could help, really. But I would advise you, just go on YouTube and search for Zambian YouTubers that are in Germany. I think they're going to guide you much better. Please share your experience of studying in a single sentence. Are you enjoying or regretting? Or to select this program? I wouldn't say I'm enjoying or regretting, actually. I think I'm in between. There's one side to it I'm actually enjoying. There are things that I enjoy. Personally, growing up, I never pictured myself being in healthcare or working in a hospital. That is one thing that I never pictured myself. I wanted to do something very totally different. I was actually supposed to venture into journalism, but that never happened. And right now, I would say I'm in this career not by choice. It's actually not by choice. If I would choose something different, I could. So when it comes to nursing, I think I'm 50-50 on that, because there's one thing that I enjoy about nursing, and there's the downside of also nursing, especially being in a foreign country, and there's a lot of challenges too. So I can say there's advantages and disadvantages to it, but yeah. Oh, okay. Sally, so Sally, you're from Zambia. I really didn't know that you guys don't have Goethe Institute. So Cleopatra, Sally has responded to you. Maybe Sally, you could. I don't know if you know any other YouTubers who are from Zambia. Maybe. Yeah, because I think I got someone asks me this kind of question, and she told me she's from Zambia. So I really never knew, like, how am I supposed to. She can apply for FSJ. She can have a certificate from where she should be learning from. If she does not have, she can do self-study. Okay. And the embassy will give her exam to test her knowledge. Ah, so. You see, that's a very different case scenario for us in Kenya, because in Kenya we have Goethe Institute. So before you go to the embassy, you need your certificate from Goethe Institute before you go to the embassy. So it's very different. So I think even the visa process and how they conduct their interviews, it must be very different. So yeah. Medical terms are, yes, medical terms are in German too, my dear. Medical terms are also in German. But the good thing is medical terms are all Latin names, and Latin names, they are not so much of a difference whether you're studying it in German or in English. They have a lot of similarities. So yeah. Do they provide food and accommodation? Yes. If you're talking about nursing, Ausbildung, yes, most do. Hey, you know what, Cleopatra? I don't see your text. I'm actually reading here, just the way that the chats are going. Right now is when I'm seeing your text, so I don't know. I'm not skipping your. I'm not skipping your. Maybe I can't see them. This is the one I have seen. You've written I have skipped, but I have not seen them. Sally, you have a YouTube channel. I didn't. I need to subscribe. Oh my god. I need to subscribe. Yeah, I'll do that. What's better, applying to a village or a city in Germany for FSJ? That depends. That depends on. That's a personal preference. Some people actually prefer villages to cities, but my personal preference, personally, I wouldn't prefer a village. But I'm not saying all villages are actually like that, because me, the village that I went was the people were so, like, their mind is not open. You know, you if you go to cities or towns, you meet people from different walks of lives, people from different countries. Like, it's the culture is very rich, people from different parts of the world. And there's also a lot of black people, international students. So I prefer cities, but some people prefer villages. So I don't know, I would say it's a personal preference. But for me, when I chose to go to a village, I never had a good experience there, and I actually had to change. So for me, I wouldn't prefer a village. During FSJ or BFD, where are the German classes? Do you work all day, then have evening lessons, or are there days you learn German and days you work? FSJ and BFD, you're not going to any classes. You're not attending any classes. You're working full time, Monday to Friday, even weekends. So if you're working in a hospital, you're working. You know you're actually going to be working also during weekends, and it's same applies to Altenheim or Pflegeheim or whatever. So if you're doing FSJ and BFD, you're not going to be attending any classes unless you have signed up for a Dutch course, because after your FSJ, you're going to apply for Ausbildung. And maybe if you applied for FSJ and you had a B1, then definitely you must do a B2 if you're going to be looking for Ausbildung after your volunteer social year. So maybe you'll be doing evening classes depending on how free you're going to be when you're doing FSJ. But FSJ and BFD, you're working full time. That is usually 40 hours in a week, and normal working hours, Monday to Friday, or maybe depending on where you're working. If it's a Krankenhaus, you know you're also going to be working over the weekends sometimes. So yeah. Yeah, Cleopatra, just send me a DM or email me. Glad to see you. Maybe I will reach there in September. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Ice Warrior, thank you so much. Do you pay for the Dutch course on your own? Well, it depends on the organization that took you in. For example, they might pay. They have programs, because they always have programs for people who come to volunteer and you are foreigners, because they know you still want to improve your language, your German language level. So they might cater for the Dutch course for you in some cases. So that depends. You just have to talk to them. But if not, then you have to pay for yourself. But it's actually costly. Yeah, it's costly, but you'll need to. Something else that I can advise, we are actually in an internet era. You can do self-study. YouTube is your best friend. You can do self-study and just go and do the Prüfung, the B2 Prüfung. If you know you cannot, because if you're actually working as a volunteer and doing the Dutch course, it's a lot on your plate, because you're working 40 hours in a week. It's a lot on your plate. So Dutch course and volunteer, it's actually a lot. But yeah, if you want to save up on the money, but if they can provide the Dutch course, if they can pay for you, well and good. You just have to talk to them. They might be paying for you, Sometimes they have those kinds of programs for foreign students, and they might take up the cost of your German course. Can we apply when studying German language, or language certificates needed for application? I presume you're asking if you can apply while studying the German language. Yes, you can apply. You can apply if you're studying the German language. During your application, you just state you're currently doing a language course. You're studying the German language, and then you just give them a period that you're going to finish, or you're going to have your exams. This specific dates. Just give them a specific date, and yeah, you can definitely apply before, but you have to give them the certificate, later. But you can apply even like the period that you're actually doing your language course. You can start sending in your applications. Yes, I do, but I hid the videos for now, and I was applying for. Oh, okay. Okay, Sally. Mm-hmm. Um, Hi, the weather is still cold. The weather has been cold since last year in October. Normally, we're supposed to be entering spring, but it's still cold. But this year we never had snow. I don't know, there's a lot of weather changes, like how do you say it? The climate has really changed. It has affected the normal function, like the way it's supposed to be. We never had snow last year. Like where I'm living here in Stuttgart, we never had snow. So it just came in like a few days. It was like coming, but it was not like real snow. So, but it's still cold. We're still in the cold months. But spring is supposed to be jetting in from this month normally, actually. During BFD, are you allowed to take other part-time work away from the BFD to boost your income? Now, when you get your residence permit, when you get your visa extended, you always have to check there's a paper that they give you after you've gotten your visa. You always have to check there. They always write if you're allowed to work extra 10 hours. If it states there on your visa that you're allowed to work extra 10 hours, then you can find a job to boost your income. You can get a part-time job to boost your income, because in the Ausbildung we are allowed 10 hours. So you can find a job. You know what people actually do? For example, in the nursing Ausbildung, if you work here, then I can go and just find another hospital, or I find another Pflegeheim, and I'll be working there only 4 days in a month. So depending on your timetable from your place of work, you can just go and find another place of work, and you work just like 4 days in a month. That is because we are allowed 10 hours in a week, which means in the whole month you can work at least four days, which is every week is like 10 hours. So yeah, that's how you do. But if for BFD and FSJ, I don't remember if we used to, because personally I never did any part-time when I was doing FSJ. And did I even ever check if I was eligible to do the part-time? I never checked during that time. But yeah, you always need to check on your, after they've given you the open touch, they always give you another paper dazu, so you can check there and see what they have written on top if you're eligible to work part-time. So yeah. Sally, are you in Zambia, or in are you already in Germany? Can you meet your monthly expenses with your stipend? Uh, you can meet your monthly expenses, but I would say it's actually not that much, because most places, if you're applying for FSJ, they give you just like 400 euros. So 400 euros, that is, you know, because you're volunteering, that's not like a salary, that is pocket money they give you. It's just like pocket money. So inside that pocket money, but you know what, they have already catered for your health insurance, they have already catered for your accommodation. So, and you know, accommodation is actually very expensive in Germany. So you might find that in that single room that you're actually living, maybe you're paying you're paying, let's say, 300 euros for your room, okay, as a single room. And then, so they have already chopped off the money for your rent, your health insurance, and then you're left with 400 euros. So that 400 euros is your upkeep for your food and whatever you need. But I wouldn't say it's never really like enough. It's just enough to sustain you, but it's not really a lot of money, I should say. Yeah, because but if you give a comparison to people who do au pairs, they get paid 260 euros or 200 euros. So you know why they're getting 200 euros or 260? Because they're living with the family. And if you're living with the family, it means the family is providing for, like, you're eating with them. So for food and stuff, you're eating with the family, so you don't need extra money to cook, which is why you're actually getting 260. So 260 is just for your upkeep, maybe for you to buy yourself clothes and those kinds of things, because you're actually living with the family. But for BFD, you're living by yourself, you're cooking for yourself, so that's why, yeah, the money is like 400 euros and stuff. But if you're doing BFD is actually more, depending on how old you are. So BFD people can actually get up to 600 euros. So it all depends. The Ausbildung in technology, can you roughly estimate how much one is paid? The tech Ausbildung is... Mwah. You can imagine in the tech world, they pay people, it's actually, they pay is more than nothing. And it's not as strenuous as nothing. So yeah. I think I will do my research on this, the tech Ausbildungs. Maybe I will do my research, and then I will come and let you guys know. But as far as I know, tech really pays. Yeah. Cleopatra, I have already written my email address. If you don't find it, just go on any of my videos. In the description box, I always leave my email address and my Instagram. Oh, you're in Zambia. I actually thought you're already in Germany. Okay. Oh, all the best, Sally. During your FSJ, did you work on weekends? Yes, I worked on weekends. I did my FSJ in the nursing home, so yeah. I worked on weekends. You work. I'm telling you, you work normal. It's like a normal working days, working periods, you know. So if you're working in a nursing home or if you're working in a hospital, you work in shifts. You know, nurses work in shifts, but the only shift that you can't do is the night shift. You work late shift, morning shift. Sometimes you work, it's called geteilte dienst, but that depends on the places where you work, because geteilte dienst will be like you come in the morning, maybe for 3 hours or 2 hours, you go back home, and then you come back again later, maybe at 4, and then you stay up to 9 o'clock. So which is why I'm saying, if you decide to choose nursing, you just need to understand that healthcare is a little bit strenuous. It's not for the faint-hearted. What Ausbildung healthcare pays more than nursing? Which Ausbildung pays more than nursing? No. The healthcare Ausbildung, nursing is the healthcare Ausbildung. Which other? You know what? In Germany, after you do your Ausbildung, then you can do if you want to continue, you do a Weiterbildung. So a Weiterbildung would be, for example, if you are doing a nursing Ausbildung and you're finished your Ausbildung and you want to do a Weiterbildung. If you do Weiterbildung, then you're going to be let's say like the boss of your station. For example, if this is a station for how do you say it of English? If this is a station, for example, for anesthesia or for patients that are in intensive care, you're the boss there. So if you do a Weiterbildung, you become the Stationsleiter of that station. Or if you can do a Weiterbildung and then just specify in something to do with wounds, it's called like wound manager. You can specify, like you can specify in something. So if you do a Weiterbildung, that's how they're going to increase your pay. But Ausbildung in the healthcare, which other kind of Ausbildung can you do? It's only the nursing Ausbildung actually. Yeah, which other Ausbildung? It's just nursing Ausbildung. Yeah. But I would say Germany, they're really they don't. If I compare Germany to UK and to the United States, when it comes to nursing, I think Germany, they need to pull up their socks. They're not really how do I say it? That's why the pay in nursing is not as high, because people in tech actually get paid more than nurses. So that has been a question, that has been a debate for the longest time in Germany. Yeah, because the workers are actually not being paid that much. It's not. Physician assistant. What would be a physician assistant of Deutsch? What is the name of physician assistant? Do you have that kind of thing in Germany? Let me see. Of Deutsch. Okay. Yeah, Arzthelferin, that one is just like, is more or less like Ausbildung, like the pay is not that, it's actually less. If you do Arzthelferin, the pay is less. It's not as high as a person who has done nursing. If you're a physician assistant, the pay is actually less. So let's say if a nurse is getting like let's say 3,000 euros, and then a nursing assistant might be getting maybe 2,000 gross income. So yeah. You wrote your exam from the embassy? No. Oh, okay. So I'm still waiting for you for you guys to ask me any other further questions. Is it possible to get your contract and wait like 2 months before coming to Germany? For instance, you already get your contract, but you already applied for data correction, date of birth. Oh, okay. You know, I did a translation of the physician assistant, and it gave me Arzthelferin. Arzthelferin in Deutschland, in Germany, they actually get their pay is not as the pay of a complete nurse who is working in a hospital. So because yes, the Arzthelferin, you know why? Because in Germany their medical system is very different. Like it's very very different from other countries. So I don't know how I can explain it to you, but a clinical officer, that would be like an Arzthelferin, but I don't think that what a clinical officer in Kenya does is the same as what a clinical officer in Germany does. I don't think it's the same thing. Because I have googled the translation, it gives me Arzthelferin. Arzthelferin is the one that is actually helping the arts, and they're just doing a few things. They're just helping the doctor with a few things here and there, because sometimes you find like the Arzthelferin, the doctor is actually at the doctor's office, and here the doctor can be like he has his own what is the praxis of English? He has his own office and stuff, like the patients always come to him. He's called the house arts, yeah, and then the house elfering is just there to help him, maybe taking the patient's insurance cards, scanning it, taking in the blood pressures of the patients, and injecting the patients. Maybe if the doctor says, okay, this is what you have to inject to the patient, that's what the Arzthelferin does. But maybe there are those who actually are in the Krankenhaus as the Arzthelferin in the Krankenhaus, but they're not working as a nurse, because the nurses have loads of work they're doing. So which is why Arzthelferin or a house helper, they don't get so much pay as a nurse. Wait, I think I had this question here. Is it possible to get your contract and wait like 2 months before coming to Germany? For instance, you already get your contracts, but you already applied for data correction, and on your passport, and it will take up to 6 weeks to get the corrected ones. Does the contract expire, and if it does, how long will it take to expire? I think this kind of question you have to explain it, that kind of thing, with the people that have given you the contract, because they will have to understand that if you're coming from your home country and you still have no visa because of this kind of thing, then they have to be able to understand. I don't think the contract is going to expire. Because you have to correct everything, and before they can give you the visa in order for you to travel and actually come and take part in whatever it is that you're actually supposed to do in Germany. So if you have to do the correction of your whatever, your passport details and stuff, and it's going to take up some 6 weeks, I don't think that's going to be a problem, because they are aware of that. So you just have to let them know. They have to be aware that that is what is happening with you, and that is why maybe you cannot travel at that time. It's going to take more than 6 weeks before they correct it, and before you can go back to the embassy and start processing your visas. So yeah, I think you just have to talk to the people that are responsible for you here in Germany, that organization. So yeah, I don't think it's a problem, and I don't think your contract is going to expire, because they are actually aware. mm. Is IT marketable? Does it come with job security? Well, about job security with IT, that is what I'm not aware of, because I'm not in the IT world. I'm in the nursing world. With job security, I don't know. I really don't know. But it's marketable. It is, because Germany is currently looking for the IT people, you know. So do you guys have any other further questions? I think I'm going to wait for a little bit, so a few more minutes. I was actually not expecting I was not expecting this though. Okay, I think I'm going to do you guys want me to be doing more live videos, or maybe I will schedule another one next time? But I'm definitely going to do my research on the IT stuff, and the other Ausbildungs that people can do in Germany, because in Germany there's a lot of Ausbildungs that people do, because even if you want to work in a even if you want to work in a supermarket, you must do Ausbildung. Oh, thank you so much, Nina. Thank you so much. Yeah, as I was saying, I'm going to do more research on IT in Germany, and also and the other Ausbildungs that people can actually do, not just nursing. There's a lot more that people can do, but the problem is in these other kinds of Ausbildung, they don't really take foreigners easily. Like, for example, if you want to apply in something, just something else, like working in a bank, it's so difficult, you know. It's so difficult. So which is why right now nursing is the one that is very marketable. Like me, for as long as I know nursing, they will just take you. But personally, Personally, if I do a comparison between nursing in Germany and in other countries, I would just say Germany, they're lagging behind. Oh yeah, and then I would do that. I would do more live videos. Yeah, vielen Dank, Gladys. Thank you guys so much. Wow, I never expected this. I actually thought people are actually not going to turn out, so I was skeptical about doing the live because I was like, oh, but yeah, you guys have really proved me wrong. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so I think I'm going to end my live video. So you guys, thank you guys so much, and I wish you guys a lovely Sunday and a lovely week ahead. So we'll catch up again next time. Bye guys. But I think I'm going to save this video. Probably it's going to help. Someone told me I should save this video, so yeah, I will do that. So bye guys.